Okay, hey everyone who's watching daily PvP stream right now. This is Flavored and you are with me today on yet another SWTOR Tuesday. This time it's Tuesday number 6. I cannot believe it's already been more than a month since I started doing this, and I've been receiving all sorts of positive feedback. This is quite awesome, guys. I will keep improving, keep doing this, keep providing more content and sharing some of the experiences about Star Wars for as long as you are interested in this game. Anyway, for tonight the topic is Carnage. I don't know. I failed to make an impression of a pirate captain. I gotta try harder, I suppose. Not an actor, am I? God damn it! But I really wish I could be a pirate, just sail seas, swinging my cutlass left and right, making those. Whatever. I've lost my thought, but back to the important thing. Let me hop into the game. Today we're gonna be exploring Carnage, Marauders, or Combat Sentinels. Well, but obviously I have a Carnage Marauder right here. Perhaps you are familiar with him, and it is me, Darth Flavored. Yes, it is Flavored, and he's a Darth. I'm a pretty important figure within the Sith. I've beaten my master to a pulp, and I did it in Carnage. Well, before I go into the details for today's episode, I will one thing I wanna point out is that I will be trying my hardest to make this episode shorter than 2 hours. Because obviously I understand that sitting through 2 hours of an educational video, especially if the information is pretty much spread out throughout the whole length of the video, can be pretty hard on you guys who are the viewers. So I will be trying to change it over starting today and over the future episodes, test out different things, like delivering all the important information in the beginning and then just showcasing several games with the Spec. So yeah, I just want to make the episodes shorter than 2 hours to make it easier on you guys, you viewers. And that being said, let's move on to the important part. Of today's episode, to the explanation. First of all, it's the stats. It's what kind of a character I have. This Marauder is pretty much maxed out on power, at least in terms of gear. I do not have well, I never bother with the datacrons. Of course, if you collect all the datacrons, you will have even better stats, well, considerably better in fact, but it's just too boring for me to do it. I just cannot bring myself to do datacrons on every character, even though it's really not that much time. It's like 2 hours tops to get all of them per character. Well, maybe someday when I'm underperforming, but seriously, I never feel that. So I guess datacrons are never happening. Anyway, this Marauder is pretty much maxed on power. I'm using plus 40 power mods. I'm using elite war hero armorings, well, for the most part. A couple of them are still not. I need to fix this as soon as possible, but I haven't been playing my Mara that often these days, as I usually PvP on the Republic side with the Guardian. But anyway, I got sidetracked a little bit. Marauder is maxed in power. I'm using the power relics, power enhancements, power mods, and I do not have crit at all. It's kind of similar to an all-power build you would use on Assault Vanguard or Pyrotech or a Hybrid Shadow. But there is one thing I want to point out, and that a lot of players consider crit to be kind of more important than maxing out your damage in here, and the reason being a Taro form gets much bigger damage boost from crits. Obviously every Taro proc can crit. It gets bigger boost from crit rating than if you max out your power, because the growth from bonus damage is really not that high in case of a Taro form, and a Taro form is a huge chunk of damage when playing Carnage or combat. But I kind of tested like maxing out my crit. Obviously the problem with the specs, with the Marauders in general, they do not have any crit boosting talents, they do not have any strength boosting talents, so the stats you have to work with are only maximized through your gear. So I sacrificed some power, some strength for the crit. I tested it out, and yeah, the numbers did get somewhat more, but the problem is, as usual, that the crit is an unreliable stat opposed to power. Wait a second, I want to get myself a group for this Tuesday. Unlike the power, which deals a reliable damage per hit, yes, your critical chance is lower, but it's still there. As you can see, it's 22.5%. Not exactly very low, not exactly very high, but I find it personally enough to deal good damage, and hopefully you will see later when I showcase the games, when I actually get into the games and play them. But if you want, of course, you can get to like 150 or 200 critical rating, and it will not be a bad thing. Another thing when it comes to stats is that combat or Carnage requires you to boost your accuracy quite considerably. Yes, you do get plus 3% from the form. Additionally, you can get 3% from the perks within the Carnage or combat tree, but for your attacks, since most of your attacks will be weapon, with the exception of a Blade Rush, Blade Storm, or Force Scream, will be weapon attacks. For you to reliably inflict damage, you need to get to around maybe 105%. 105% accuracy. As you can see right now, I'm at 102%. I have only 160 accuracy rating, but I alternate from time to time between this and a higher accuracy, between Surge and higher accuracy, because well, I don't know, I'm still in the testing process of this. And ooh, the first game has already popped, so I guess I will go into the spec details after it. But so yeah, for the spec you can either go for the max damage, or you can go up to 200 critical rating, simply because that number is probably the most critical rating you will ever need. It gives the best boost, and after it, after you go above 200, considering how much critical rating you get per mod and enhancement, you will probably be hitting diminishing returns quite hard, and power would provide you a lot more boost. So as usual, it is up to your preference. Critical rating is not bad to get, but at the same time, if you want to sacrifice crit completely, it is not so bad either. I've tested it, I've run quite a few games, as you will see right now. And power doesn't really reduce your damage much, maybe some percent. So here I am in the game. Quick look at the current spec. I will explain more after the game. Of course, how it looks like. It's 5.34.2 right now, and we're on the SWTOR with a couple of people from White Noise, so I guess I am getting carried. They're discussing about moving away from Smash, and that's a great idea. But for now, I shouldn't get distracted from Carnage. Let's see what's going to happen. What's going to happen in this game? What do I right, and I guess I will be stuck defending, right? This is really not so good. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I don't like this. Oh shit. Okay. Another thing about stats for a Marauder is that you might consider going for higher survivability, and I will explain more about this later, of course. Right now I gotta concentrate on the game, as I am already dying. This is not good, and fucking hell. This is sad. This is sad. Damn you. Okay, that was rather quick because for some reason the team decided not to respawn to the call, but oh well. Okay, I'm the only guy on this side, and they've got an assassin. They've got an assassin. Okay. Holy crap. Seriously now, guys. Without a healer, it's not gonna be easy, that's for sure. What the hell with my ping? What, are you kidding me? Why is it so high? Okay, this game seems not to like me at all. Okay, there's another guy planting again. Oh, you kidding me? Of course I get stunned right at the moment I'm about to use my mad pack. Sure, why not? These stun bubbles. One thing I want to say right straight away is that all kinds of constant melee disables impair combat or carnage very significantly. Specifically, stun bubbles are a bane of fucking carnage. I don't want to swear, but there is just no other way to express my emotions. No, you scrub, what the f... of course, you have 60% HP, and why not? Anyway, stun bubbles in their current form right now are a serious bane of carnage or combat spec. As well as, of course, when engaging enemies, you should always be aware of different ballistics like force wave or overload. Just stunned second fraggers. No, seriously, nobody has the stuns in this group, or what? Okay, I shouldn't. Well, unfortunately I did not have one either, and simply because people kept attacking the guys who were trying to interrupt it. Using intimidate would have never worked. So, okay, there's a guy coming from over there. Are you kidding me right now? You see, every time you try to unload your most powerful combo, which is Gore or Precision Slash and Master Strike, finished up with the Force Scream. Every time you try to unleash this combo, ballistics can really screw up your plans. Well, at least it will not detonate. Okay, so what can we do in attack stage? And of course, as soon as the game ends, I will go into more details and everything, but people are asking how the hell was the second door planted, but well, I suppose it's all in the proper CC. Oh, really? There is a cute shadow here. Why not? What the hell? What? Yeah, this is not easy whatsoever, of course. Maybe if I was Smash. Okay, time to plant, time to plant. Of course, you will not be able to CC this guy, because why? Why, yes. They've got smash. They've got stun bubbles. Everything to make our lives hard. As you can probably see right now, the damage dealt by this spec is quite high. Of course, it's single target damage, but the burst can be definitely good. That being said, the combat tree is mostly control tree. That's how I feel about it. Last time I said about it on Reddit, I got a lot of flame hate coming on me, but that's just the truth. What you do with combat is try to control enemy healers, and if you cannot reach their healers, or if there are stun bubbles, you try to control whoever you can. It may even be a tank, really, because with Precision Slash or Gore, you can do it quite effectively as long as you hit your attacks. This bag is really annoying. Come on, time to open it. Of course, we couldn't open without wiping them. How many? My mouse is still half dead, unfortunately. Okay, let's cross the bridge. Okay. Let me pick up this med pack. That Sentinel decided not to get it, and that's exactly what I was aiming for. Can we start planting today? Not easy, not easy. If we had one healer, maybe the situation would have been absolutely reversed, but as it stands... Actually, thank you for wasting your force push. Holy... Just bland, bro. Stop this madness. What about that guy? He's hiding here somewhere still, right? Yeah, he is. What the? Okay. Let us go and we still have a chance, I suppose. Or damn it. That was not the great time to die, that's for sure. I wanted to give bread, but instead I wanted to give bread, but instead... Okay, nobody's noticing me, but it is not enough, unfortunately. Could you get lost? Where the hell did he disappear? I love this game. He has a stun bubble on him. Ow. Oh well. But it was a close game. Not so bad, unfortunately. Without healers, it was a real pain. Pain. Yeah. "12 deaths. Well, anyway, as I was saying in the beginning, I've discussed the offensive stats. So you either max out power, because really there is no reason, in case of at least of a Marauder, to just have your crit boosted by 2-3%. So you either max out power, or you devote some of the stats you can spend into critical rating. So you would like get 150 or 200 crit rating in total. Additionally, you need accuracy. So if you can get 150 or 200 or maybe even more, because you need to rely on your attacks. Whoever you're going up against doesn't matter. You need to rely on your attacks. And since Marauders, Carnage and Combat are obviously most weapon damage, these kinds of attacks can be quite unreliable at times, especially when you're trying to attack a Sork, when you're trying to engage a Shadow, when you're going against tanks. A little bit of a discussion on the past game about how much damage the opposing team had, but seriously, they had smash, they had bubble stuns, everything that can be everything that is a problem in pugs they had. Well, anyway, one thing that I mentioned briefly in the beginning is that you might choose to go for survivability, and probably you've seen from the first game how if a Marauder gets focused, there is a high goddamn chance that you will not even be able to go for the Undying Rage or Guarded by the Force, whatever it is. You might simply be nuked in a matter of 2-3 seconds. Therefore, you might opt to drop your bonus damage even more for plus 45 endurance enhancements, or plus 41 endurance mods, or you might choose to go for even plus 18 endurance augments, which is not entirely bad as well. Because in certain situations, survivability for Marauders can be quite a problem. Quite often, well, today it's not the case, but previously I heard a lot of complaints about Marauders and Sentinels having a lot of defensive cooldowns, like a lot more than everyone else, but seriously, they need them. And more importantly, what they need is the proper management of these defensive cooldowns, because you might have seen, if you make a single mistake and screw up on your Rebuke or Cloak of Pain, if you screw up on your Guarded by the Force or Undying Rage, you are pretty much obliterated. If you use your Force Camouflage for well, if you just use it up and then you find yourself not having it in a pinch situation, you will die as well. All these defensive cooldowns require proper management, and having increased endurance quite often can help rectify your mistakes a little bit. So there are 3 ways pretty much for you to go in terms of min-maxing your stats in Carnage or any Marauder in particular. It's power, it's some usage of crit, and of course it's focusing on endurance. But if you decide to go for endurance, of course you shouldn't just max it out blindly, because then you will be left without damage, and that will not be good. For example, plus 96, or is it, how much endurance is it? Plus 94 endurance implants and maybe a few plus 45 endurance enhancements would do you good. Like if you hit above 20k HP, that would be quite awesome actually. Wait, I did. Oh, while talking I used Frenzy at the wrong time. Sheesh. Well, it happens, what to do. I just got too absorbed with talking. So here we go, another game. It's Huttball this time. Let's see how much I can do. I need to stack my pred. What's important, and of course Combat and Carnage are awesome specs for Huttball in many ways, because they provide a lot of control, and of course they provide the most important buff for your team, which is combat predation. Okay, where's my ball carrier? He's already at the line. There is a smasher here who is about to die. Wait, what? Stop running like a chipmunk. Just running randomly around me. What the hell was that? Just die. Where is the ball carrier? Move. Whoops. Somehow died. Oh. You see, I didn't even have... I had 30% 30% HP as soon as I got out of stun. I pressed Undying Rage right away, even though it wouldn't have made any difference, but still. And it just didn't activate. Like 30% HP got nuked. So it's important to manage your defensive cooldowns, and it's of course might be a good idea to go for some increased endurance. One additional KHP can quite often decide the outcome of your particular fights. Damn it. Whoops. Yeah, stun bubbles is just something that Carnage or combat doesn't like at all. Once again, this spec is 534-2. Perhaps some people wouldn't like going 34, but personally I feel that I should have as much control as possible. Thus, of course, I picked up Disable on Master Strike or Ravage. I picked up Disable on Crippling Throw. What the team of death right in the middle. Whoops. Wait. Okay, I gotta escape. Whoops. I thought this guy was a healer. I should try babysitting him. Babysitting a Zork. Maybe then we'll have a better chances fighting in the middle. I'm pretty sure this guy's getting focused really hard. Really hard. I don't really care if you put a trench on yourself. After all, it's time to pass. What the hell did you try to do in there? Burn, baby. That was quite a good pull. And again, I'm stunned right before I was to use. This is just my luck. What I should additionally point out is that you really need to have a good ping to play awesome combat. Like with my current ping, which is actually for some reason much higher than usual, at least by 100 milliseconds, it is real hard to perform good as a combat, especially considering that quite often you have only like a split second to use your Undying Rage or Force Camouflage. Come on, stop pulling my ball handler apart. Or no. seriously wrong. This is... Okay, can I move? How long am I going to stand still? Oh wait, what? Whoops, and I died. Okay, don't give this guy a leap. He's trying to leap. Are you kidding me? He's just... What the freaking hell? Okay. We are... Let me stack my pred, guys. Okay, let's... Damn, it was dangerous. I even overreacted and used my Undying Rage. Although I wasn't really raging there, but... Okay. So many of these guys. Smasher's dream, that's for sure. Wait, where did you... Can I kill his, whoever he is? Whew. Sorry, there is no chance in life I can help you in any way. I wish I could though, but... Once again, guys, you are with the SWTOR Tuesdays. I think you are. This is the topic for today's Carnage. Carnage. Yarr. I feel like I'm getting better on this pirate captain impression. I just need a parrot now. Okay, Vanguard, could you... Holy shit, so many of them. No thank you. I think I took the wrong turn somewhere. Well, let's use a prat, I guess. No point in saving it. And he leaves the place. Like, sorry buddies, this party, I don't like it. This Republic of Sweden. Wait, was it a stun bubble? How come he didn't get stunned? What? Someone on the stream asked about Rupture. The reason I used Rupture, I think, well, I use Rupture of course as a Carnage spec, and yes, usually it is a waste of damage, but quite often you need to place a dot on targets that can go invisible, obviously. So when you are fighting shadows or scoundrels, you want to use Rupture on them, just to place a dot so they do not escape you. It's quite an important thing. Holy crap, how many of them are there? Suddenly it feels like we're playing against 32 people at once. Could this Sage disappear? Wait, let me disable this Gunslinger. Like this. There you go. Disappear, bro. I pressed Undying Rage again, seriously. Carnage or combat is so susceptible to ping. Well, Marauder in general, or Sentinel, susceptible to ping. But Carnage is probably the most susceptible spec of all. Whatever, we are still winning, even though I wish I could do better. There's so many situations I could escape. Look at this damage. Quite good burst, if you manage to get it out. Oops, he had the full resolve. Little bit of a mistake. Oh well. Still it's 5-0. Where is my little Vicrona? Well, so this ends the second game. You could see certain things. Of course, you can see the benefit of a full power build. You can see the damage dealt by occasional Master Strike crit, the damage from Dispatch, the damage from Blade Storm or Force Scream, which is a reliable crit, by the way. But like I said, it's to your personal preference. If you're going for crit, try to get at least like 7-8% or maybe even 10. Otherwise it makes no sense. You have to make your crit, if you're going for it, more reliable than it would be otherwise. And for that you have to max it out to the border of diminishing returns. So, I suppose I've covered all the stats so far. In the end I will of course sum it all up again. So, for the spec, really the spec is quite straightforward, it's quite simple. There are no possible good hybrids, so the only changes you can make is with the tier 1 of the other two specs, but for the most part it's maxed out Carnage. It's not really possible to hybridize it in any way, unless you think you could do something with Rage or Focus, but seriously, it's not better than full Carnage in any way, and if anything it's worse. Like 15% critical chance increase for Vicious Slash and Vicious Throw, or Dispatch, and whatever the other slash it's called. Or it's not called slash, it's called strike. Anyway, this critical strike chance increase might seem as a good idea, but in actuality, if you sacrifice Massacre or Blade Rush, it is not good at all for this spec. Massacre and Blade Rush are pretty important, so personally I feel like a full Carnage spec is the only option to go if you are playing it. And of course, if you go for the full Carnage spec, it would be a complete waste not to pick up as much control as possible. I know some people sometimes avoid Overwhelm or 100% immobilized chance on Master Strike or Ravage, but seriously, why would you? There are so many situations in this game, especially if you're maxing out or on Ravage, which just well, which call for as much control as you can possibly provide. And what exactly would you spend these points for? There is really nothing but the Ravage or Master Strike perk from the tier 1 on Rage or Focus you can get, simply because you do not need any increased force critical chance, since the only force attack you will be using in this pack is Force Scream, and it already has a proc for 100% critical. And obviously you do not need increased smash damage, simply because you will not be using it. Well, you can use it from time to time, but if you execute your rotations properly, there is just no place for it, and there is just no focus for it. As for the Annihilation or Watchman trees, only tier 1 has something useful. Well, of course there is also a slow on Rupture, but like I said in the previous Huttball game, Rupture is pretty much only used on the stealthers, who can try and get away from you while with stealth, obviously. Well, if they're stealthers, what other choice do they have? Oh, god damn it, again this guy. Crap, and as soon as I jump, why did I jump on this? Let me use Pred to provide a little bit of a survivability to my team. Don't forget that Pred always provides plus 10 defense, which is good, obviously. Holy crap, these guys are kinda strong. Stop choking me. I like my oxygen. Oh my god. Too much action for my liking. Well, I tried to slow them down as much as I could, but we all got wiped. And I get one full tick. This is pretty much it. Yep. Only 1 minute on the first door. These guys are overpowering us like crazy. Let me check these guys. Maybe they have like PvE gear set or... Wow, they're just falling. Okay, maybe we could hold them here for a little bit. Carrrrnage, I'm relying on you. Yes, good job. Relax, buddy. What, really? Go away. I don't want to die yet. Okay. I didn't want to use my stun breaker because obviously within the next 2 minutes there will be a lot of chances and a lot of stuns. So wasting it right now would mean, well, my imminent death within the next minute or so. Okay, couple of cuties in here. Gotta run, but I'm slowed like freaking hell. Are you serious? What the hell? Oh, okay, now I get a grenade. And I get a stun. Well, I don't know, guys. Could you all stand for a little bit? Okay, this guy is about to die. Nah, I don't care. I'll relax. I'll just smash. The only times to use smash I can think of is like right now when they're stuck, clumped up at the doors, and you need to interrupt. Whoa, that was nice damage. 5k on Ravage. 5k on okay, I'm gonna get stunned right now. There are no medpacks here. Damn it, this is so sad. The game makes me quite sad, to be honest. Have you been trying to kill me or what, you? Ah, of course, in the other door. Where the hell is this guy fighting? Well, explain to me, you silly juggernaut. Yeah. As usual, seeing how hard this game is, he gets carried away and leaves the door. What a solid bug play. Sorry, you cannot escape my 5k Ravage with your Force Shroud. Damn it, they're already opening.
Alert! Attackers have breached the cargo bay. Neutralize their assault and disarm any explosives they rig on the doors.
Phew. There are so many weaknesses with Carnage. They're weak to Saber Ward of Guardians, especially the Guardians, because they get this blade turn-in buff with their Saber Ward, unlike Marauders, for 100%. Sorry, you are not. Oh, of course. Hey, this guy is planting there, you know. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Ah, don't close right into my face. But anyway, the Carnage in combat are so susceptible to any defense boosting bubble. I'm having a deja vu, by the way. It really resembles the first SWTOR game. This time we're against the Empire. Like, deflection really messes up your chance of hitting any shadow. Blade turning, Saber Ward, evasion, all these can counter you. That is why you should always pay attention to how you engage. This is very important to pick your fights properly. Of course, you cannot do this all the time, obviously. I'm quite sure that most of the times you cannot do it. But when you can, you should think twice. Okay, there's a guy coming for the buff, and he really did come, and I'm just gonna kill this sucker. like this. One just does not simply take my buff and run away. Okay, this guy is a tank. I shouldn't be engaging. But I still do. I must be friggin' drunk. Oh shit. So what's going on? What's going on here? Yeah. Not so good. Not so good. Their team is significantly stronger than ours. This is just... You do not need to be a genius of Star Wars The Old Republic to notice this. Could you stop for a second and talk to me? I'm really eager for conversation right now. Well, looking from the enemy HP, it really feels like we lack any AoE damage. If we had... What the hell did I just do? If we had any AoE... Come on, can I attack someone? The battle might have been going into our favor, but as it is... And I just get nuked. Yet another jugger. He is a tank. Don't run too far. Like I said, I'm eager for a talk. Woo, we managed to plant the first door. Now all we have to do is to hold these guys back. Wait, there's a mat pack. Can I has this mat pack? What the fuck? No, our team is very bad. Sorry, I just have to say they are completely terrible. 5 people at the friggin' door, and that's exactly what happens. How could I have even thought about relying on them? My trust is easily betrayed, it seems, by the pogs. So yeah, obviously after this, all the chances of us winning have dissipated completely. remember guys to pick your fights properly. Quite often you can be just wasting your DPS. Remember that all your attacks, with the exception of Blade Storm and Force Scream, are weapon melee attacks, so they can be dodged. Of course, he is already here. Well, and here we go. End of the game. Not exactly good Void Stars today, although I could say the first one was decent enough, even though of course the play wasn't the best, but it was a close game and it was kind of exciting to play it. But this come on, even the Carrrrnage in his full tank freaking gear dealt 180,000 damage. Everyone else dealt the same damage as him, someone even lower. What the hell were these guys doing? How terrible can you get? Whatever, but it is not the point here. Point is, it can get pretty complicated to play Carnage, especially in team battles, where it is hard to notice stuff. Remember that all the ballistics, all the stuns can really affect your survivability, simply because you can be focused down quite easily. And you have to be mindful of it. Always remember that the key to playing Carnage in combat is the proper use of your defensive cooldowns, as well as choosing your battles. Choosing the battles you engage in correctly. How am I doing on comms, by the way? I'm probably maxed. Well, almost. Discussing with Carrrrnage that the last game had 2 tank juggernauts, which were horrible and died more than the rest of the team. 2 tanks. Okay, wait. I first need to trade some of the comms I got. Another game pop. Wait, don't go without me. I'm a little Carnage Marauder. Okay, Civil War. Of course, Carnage or combat on Civil War is definitely good to move around the points. Marauder would be the primary support class to assist your secondary points where the main battle is not taking place due to the predation or transcendence. And while I still have about a minute, let's get back to the spec. Obviously, since you will be using stuff like Massacre or Blade Rush, Vicious Throw, quite a lot you need Enraged Slash, because focus can be quite, or focus or rage can be quite a problem in Carnage spec. Of course, we get as much fury or centering build-ups as possible, and of course cooldown reduction on frenzy is always good. I suppose this will be the last game for okay, let me boost people with Transcendence and going in. I saw a couple of these guys combat as well. Let me obfuscate him. That's 13-meter force choke. A lot of stuff going on. But the opposing team isn't exactly strong, although our guys aren't so wonderful either. Why the hell is East undefended? Is it gonna get capped right now? What the hell happened? Did the guy who capped it? I wasn't watching. Yeah, indeed. This guy capped and went west. There's someone incoming. 2 there now. I'm gonna stay in the middle because it might be just a diversion. We do not want to lose middle while everyone's going for but now that I think about it, there are 3 of us in the middle now. How's it going? Well, they're convincingly winning. So okay, I will not be going there. What the hell is this guy doing? Can I vote kick him for such play? What was this just now? Well, okay. attacking another Marauder. Let me obfuscate him so he doesn't deal any damage to whoever he engages on. Hey, what the hell? Why couldn't I move? You see, even with having no critical rating at all, I still crit quite a lot with my 22%. But of course, it's not as much as if you had 30% or 35% crit. Then again, I feel like the lack of crit is easily compensated with the more reliable boost in damage. Wait, he said SWTOR, or when did it happen? Maybe it was like 10 minutes ago and I've noticed it only now. Obfuscating a sniper. Holy crap, I cannot move! You bastard. And then he uses oh my god, no. I do not want to die. I will even waste the med pack to stay alive for a little bit.
Enemy ship damaged. Don't relent.
What's going on at this snow? I am unbeatable for some reason. Obfuscating a sniper. Wait, what? Hey! Still cannot move. I actually didn't see how many stacks of Fury I had. Maybe I was like 29 and I used Frenzy. Alright. I suppose we're gonna get a victory for a change. So anyway, while I have a little bit of a break, or actually no, since I've decided this will be the last game for now, I will just sum it up after I finish this game. I will sum it up everything I've said, the things you should mind while playing Carnage or Combat, the stats, what's going on, yeah, well, no, or maybe yeah, cannot decide where to go. Yeah, your most powerful combo is quite easy to counter. You should use core or precision slash anytime you're engaging and it's off cooldown, then it has to be followed by a series of blade rushes or massacres finished with the Force Scream or Blade Storm, or obviously you have to go for Ravage and finish it with the Force Scream. That is, those are the main damage dealing combos when playing Carnage.
Reaper squad shields are nearly down. Finish them.
The calamity of civil war. Is it just me, or do these cannons really make some wimpy sound? They're not menacing at all, just some pew pew pew. It's like completely unfitting of the huge planetary cannons they are. Huh. Nothing new is going on Alderaan. There's a party going on. I want to join it.
Shadow squad, your ship is taking damage.
Wait, what? Damn you bastard.
The enemy ship is destroyed. Congratulations, Shadow squad, on a glorious victory worthy of the Empire.
I'll even be able to take someone down. Okay. So this is a bright note to finish the this episode of the Tuesday Zone. Okay, now I gotta sum up everything. You know, I promised to make this episode shorter than the other ones, and I have to at least try to stick to the promise. How long has it been since the start, by the way? Let me check. It's been 1 hour and... well, yeah, okay, it will be at least 30 minutes or 30 minutes shorter than the longest episode so far. So I've got 7 minutes, 6 actually, for the summary. So okay, once more from the start, the choice of stats. In my particular case, I'm maxed out on power, having 0 critical rating. There is a huge debate about whether Carnage or Combat should have any critical, and yes, it is not invalid to go for critical, but if you're going for critical, it shouldn't be just 3-5%. You should try to make as much use of it as possible. So you should like get to the border of diminishing returns, get yourself 200 critical rating, 250. That should be fine. As for the secondary stats, of course, Surge is important, especially for the synergy within your tree. But since most of your attacks are weapon melee attacks, you need accuracy. 100 95% accuracy coupled with all the perks you get is good. So you should ideally aim for like 200, 230 accuracy. That will make your character a lot more reliable, because if you miss attacks, you are pretty much useless, because unlike say Infiltration Shadow or Deception Assassin, you do not have force attacks to fall back on in case you miss your double strikes or whatever similar. An alternative route you can choose is put in some stats from the gear into survivability, into endurance, because if you've watched the video as a whole, perhaps you've seen that Marauders cannot really withstand focus, at least in this spec, focus fire, as opposed to Rage, for example, where you can have a good mitigation by default, as opposed to Annihilation or Watchman, where you can have self-healing there. Combat does not have any additional survivability from the tree. It is instead exchanged for more control and a little bit better escape abilities through the force camouflage. So to ensure that your healers could keep you up and that you have time to actually use Guarded by the Force or Undying Rage, perhaps you might go for increased HP. If you go above 20k, that would be good. I used to do that and it was real good, but then I decided that since I run pugs anyway and quite often I run with the good healers, I would instead go for the maxed out damage. And from today's games you could obviously see that it doesn't always go very well. Sometimes you just get penetrated so hard that it really makes me want to revert to an HP build. Of the former build, I'm using only those two implants with increased endurance, but if I wanted to go for additional HP, I would swap from 4 to all the 6 enhancements for 45, 46 endurance. Okay, that's about it for the stats. As for the spec, like I said before, hybridized specs for Marauder, whatever the tree you're going for, do not make much sense. Every tree gets the most benefit from as many points as you can invested into it. In this case I'm using 534-2 simply because I want my Ravage or Master Strike as effective as possible, because it is obviously a huge damage dealer. Well, no, actually I shouldn't call it a huge damage dealer, but it can be a very useful tool depending on how you pick your fights. It can provide a great burst of damage to a single target. Then I'm using Enrage Slash because I quite often, well, personally from my experience, I find that focus or rage can be a problem in this spec, thus I need to conserve as much as possible. But of course, if you find yourself not having such problem, you can swap this for something else. Like for example, Cloak of Carnage or Cloak of Annihilation are a good addition to your defensive capabilities. Short fuse, well, obviously you need to build up your Zen or Frenzy as quickly as possible. This is a must-have for any kind of Sentinel, along with of course defensive forms for increased survivability, new offensive roll for AoE damage reduction of 30%. This is a must for everyone. It cannot be skipped, guys, believe me. If you're especially this players who only starting, they think this can be omitted for maybe some more damage, maybe they would spec increased smash damage. No, you should have it at all times, especially with all these madness sorks running around with these hybrid shadows, with the smashers, especially smashers. Because of course if you have Cloak of Pain active and then you have defensive roll, you reduce the damage from smash by 50%. That's quite a lot. There is a huge difference obviously in taking 3.5k hit instead of 7k. Okay, then we of course have all the Terraform perks maxed out. Remember then, every time your Terraform deals damage, you get Blood Frenzy for 6 seconds. It will be changed in the upcoming expansions to something more useful, because right now it's quite odd. This perk, you get 1 rage every time Blood Frenzy ends. And every time you proc Blood Frenzy, your Force Scream becomes an automatic critical hit. Then we get all kinds of cooldown reductions, of course, which is quite important in this spec. You gotta roll these attacks. If you roll these attacks properly, like I said before, there might not be any place for some filler skills for you to use, like Smash, like Rupture. Then of course we max out on all the controls, because remember, the major how to call it, majorly important side of playing Carnage or combat is control it provides. Isolating healers and or DPS is what Carnage and combat excel at, and that is what you must think when you are playing this spec. Easily holding target in place for 10 seconds. There you go. Engage with maxed out force charge. Well, in this case it's not maxed out, but if you wanted to, you could, for example, sacrifice a percent of your narrowed hatred or just accuracy perk for this, and it would add you additional half a second. Well, I'll let your personal preferences decide how useful it is. This exact spec is to my liking, to my personal liking. You should definitely find what works for you, but anyway, engaging with force charge, even I don't necessarily endorse it. Using Battering Assault, then using Deadly Throw or Crippling Throw, using like Massacre, and then using Gore, Ravage or Master Strike, and finishing it all with the Force Scream or Blade Storm is quite a devastating combo. It can easily like go above 15k damage if executed well and you didn't miss a thing. As well as all this time the target will be staying and not moving. So of course you can see for yourself what benefits it provides. The enemy will not be moving and providing benefit to its team. Your team can easily lock on the target and focus it down. A lot of stuff. Then of course we get Gore or Precision Slash, which is the backbone of the whole spec. Every time you are preparing to unload your combo in full, you need to use it, because it will give you 100% armor penetration, effectively increasing damage you deal to anyone, because everyone has some armor. Even measly sages have 20% damage reduction from all the kinetic and energy damage, and most of your attacks are kinetic or energy, depending whether you're using vibroblades or lightsabers. I guess they would be kinetic only if you use the vibroblades, of course. Then Unbound, of course, to provide you removal of all roots on force, camouflage, and boost to your predation, which is a highly important utility tool. It is very useful for escapes, and of course improved predation or transcendence is one of the most important buffs in the whole game for your team. Of course, we would take increased critical strike damage, immobilize on Ravage, and the top skill is quite important. One thing to note, though, that Massacre or Blade Rush has lesser damage than your Vicious Slash or whatever strike it is. I forgot the exact name, but it has 100% chance to trigger your Terraform strike. In reality, there is a trick, so to speak, I guess. When you engage on the enemy, you use your Massacre or Blade Rush, and after this you use Gore and, for example, finish it off with a series of Vicious Slashes. Especially when your critical chance is low, and you already have an increased chance for your Terraform to trigger from the Massacre for 6 seconds. It should theoretically provide better damage than just massacring away at the enemy. So this is something to think of. Like, you use Massacre, after that you immediately use Precision Slash or Core, and then you would have your Vicious Slash or Strike bound to some other button. You use 2 slashes and then finish it off with the Force Scream or Blade Storm, and that most probably will provide a little bit more DPS. I've run some numbers a while back, though. I'm not sure if the skill damage was changed from back then. It was quite a while, and it really did turn out. Of course, the only thing here is that Terraform strikes are still unreliable, so in the event that you slash away and all the Terraform strikes proc, then you get better damage, but if they do not, of course, you won't get better damage. Hopefully someone understood something of that charade. Anyway, okay, I guess this wraps up this spec, and once again, of course, there really is no real trade for the skills here. Of course, you could choose to go for Cloak of Annihilation if you so prefer. You could go for Cloak of Carnage. You could also go for Seeping Wound, maybe, but I don't see any reason, because you will not be probably using Rupture for in the most cases. But what would you sacrifice? That is exactly the question. The problem, the possible candidates are, of course, Stagger, it may be Displacement or Overwhelm, but do you really want to sacrifice the important control, which ignores the what's it called? Oh, of course, what the hell. I've been talking so much that I already don't remember to simply think the resolve bar. Do you really want to sacrifice it for? Well, it's a matter of personal preference, depends on how you play. Once again, it is not possible to just say tell you what to do, because it depends on particular person's playstyle and what you more prefer. There is no better way, of course. Defensive cooldowns, improvement on defensive cooldowns is good, immobilize is good, and it's up to a particular situation to decide. You cannot just God damn it, what's this word? I keep thinking what I don't think that I'm staggering right now. I just do not remember the word I want to use. Whatever it happens, I just hope that the point I wanted to make is clear. Alright, so to wrap things up, I want to tell you that you have to choose the fights you go for, simply because there are quite a few defensive cooldowns that can render yourself quite useless. It's evasion on the scoundrels and the Imperial agents. It's of course Saber Ward, which every warrior has. It is even more improved on Juggernauts and Guardians because they get this additional Blade Turn-in perk, which increases their defenses to 100%, and then no matter what you do, hitting them is quite hard. At least for the 3 seconds, or 4 seconds if they have the PvE set bonus. Then deflection on shadows, it also renders you quite vulnerable. So you have to understand when to fight and when not to. You have to learn how the defensive cooldowns look like and act accordingly. Most probably you would want to run away with the forced camouflage to hide, to not take damage for the duration, or at least for the partial duration of their defensive cooldowns, and then engage in full force. Also, you should remember that the Spec itself is quite vulnerable to all the melee stuns, the worst case being of course stun bubble right now, because it can be placed on all the enemy team and it always stuns you, rendering you unable to move and act. It is of course a problem for everyone, but in case with the Marauders, who do not have any possibility to avoid it except for your good micro with your character, where you keep the distance and use Force Scream at the right moment to destroy the bubble. But it's not of course always possible, and I will go as far as to say it's in the most cases it is not possible unless you're engaging in like one-on-one battle, then you can do it. But in huge team battles, avoiding this is not always possible. Thus, you have to be careful of your positioning in battle, of picking out your targets, on whom you jump, whom you avoid, and stuff like that. I don't know, my thought just ended here. Oh yeah, this is where I was going. Try not to use your Ravage or Master Strike recklessly. Think about if what will the enemy do the moment you use it, if he will knock you back, if it will blow up the bubble, because it's better not to use it than waste it. You can easily deliver the full devastating damage of that skill as soon as you see that the enemy does not have anything to use to stun you or interrupt you. Okay, and the last, I guess, but not least, is of course you have to understand how to time your defensive cooldowns. Obviously, as soon as you engage in combat and you see yourself taking any kind of damage, you use Cloak of Pain. If you go against melee attackers, you would probably want to use Saber Ward. When you're dropping low and you see there is no chance of escaping, you go for the Undying Rage, then you use Medvac immediately and prepare to even be kept alive or finish off your opponent, or maybe you decide to, as soon as the Undying Rage runs out, run away with the Force Camouflage. Force Camouflage can be used as both offensive and defensive tool, coupled with With the Transcendence or Predation, it can be used to cover quite a lot of ground, while you're of course being invisible to the enemy. You can, like, if you time it properly, you can get to the doors on SWTOR while being fully invisible. It has of course a lot of uses. You can, while in combat, the combat spec, you can break out of any routes and run away to reposition yourself or choose another target to attack. So you should experiment with this yourself. Like, someone was attacking me and I decided to go for this guy, or, well, it's a companion, but still, I repositioned, then I would go and attack him. Okay, as for the rotations, there is really no preset rotation in this spec, but there are a few combos you can use to achieve the maximum performance. All these in conjunction with the smart usage of defensive cooldowns is the backbone of play. First of all, when you engage on the enemy, be it on foot or be it with the force charge, you would probably want to use battering assault, and most likely you would want to use this skill by cooldown. If you are attacked and you get retaliation on repost, just as like it is with all the warrior classes and knight classes, you want to use it by cooldown. It's not affected by the global cooldown. The only time you shouldn't use it is of course when you are channeling your Ravage or Master Strike. As for the combos to use, they all start with the Gore or Precision Slash. In case you do not have Zen or Berserk active, you would want to deliver 2 massacres, and as soon as you deliver them, of course, there shouldn't be any pause between the skills. It should always go off by the global cooldown. It is very important because the duration of the Gore or Precision Slash buff only 4.5 seconds. This is enough for 3 attacks or 4 attacks if you have Zen or Berserk active. So you initiate it with Gore, then you deliver 2 massacres and finish it off with the Force Scream. If you have Zen active, of course you can fit in 3 massacres or 3 vicious slashes and still finish it off with Force Scream. Alternatively, you can use Gore, then use Ravage or Master Strike and finish it off with the Force Scream. These 2 combos are the most important combos when playing combat or Carnage, and you should use them according to the situation. Of course, you shouldn't, like I said, you shouldn't use Ravage if you feel that the enemy is going to stun you right away. It wastes a very important tool, damage dealing tool, and you actually get to do nothing. If you feel the enemy, if you are unsure, or if you know the enemy is not a complete bucket of whatever, you should go for the Massacre or Blade Rush combo. If you have seen the enemy use their ballistics, you could try to go for the Ravage combo. This spec can be pretty complicated to play because it requires you to have a good awareness, to be at least somewhat proficient with positioning. It requires quite a few reflexes. Otherwise, you will be just finding yourself dying constantly. And of course, it requires a lot of practice, but with practice definitely anyone can get at least above average. It's not as scary as it seems. You just have to have understanding of what you are about to do. and be observant of the enemies surrounding you, and then you will do good. So okay, I guess I didn't fit into 10 minutes, and actually I've been explaining stuff for 20 now. I guess I'm doomed not to be able to make these episodes short. Alright guys, on this cool note, I guess I will be wrapping it up. It was SWTOR Tuesday, and the topic was Carnage. Damn it, I still cannot get this impression right. Whatever. I remind you all that the website of the Daily PvP is now up, and encourage you all to get and register and maybe engage in some conversation and get it rolling. Not trolling, but rolling. It is of course at http://dailypvp.com. Obviously all the content is posted to the YouTube, as well as the site YouTube at youtube.com/dailypvp. If you want to stay updated, follow me on the social media of Twitter and Facebook at /dailypvp. Damn, this is boring to say Daily PvP always. Every time. And that's about it. It was a real pleasure, guys, as usual. Thanks for staying with me through every Tuesday. And well, actually, I was going to cast some ranked games, which I will probably do a little bit later. But anyway, that's it for this Tuesday. Thanks for staying with me, and I love you all. Cheers.